Colt McCoy, Texas football was not the same after he got banged up against Alabama. It was Vince Young, Colt McCoy, and it just wasn't the same for a long time, and he's joining us live. So I will say this. You want to play, and it's funny. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. There is, I believe, a classic backup quarterback. I said this last year. So for Kyler Murray, it should be somebody that moves. You move, Josh Dobbs moves. Lamar Jackson should have a quarterback that moves, because I don't want to have to reinvent the offense, and you're going to use the backup unless you have Justin Herbert or one of these guys that doesn't get hurt. You're going to have it. So, is there a team when you look at right now and you think, I would fit that team?
Maybe. I played 13 years, by the way. Not
13, I'm sorry.
No, I'd love to keep playing if the right opportunity came up, but I just think I'm so grateful for, really, quite honestly, the 13 years that I did get to play. I felt like I was in really good shape. I had a great training camp, and if the right opportunity comes up, I'll be ready. But I'm enjoying time with my family, and haven't really had that much time in the fall in years. So it's been fun.
So there have been kind of three versions where Texas has been really good: the Vince Young years, the Colt McCoy years, and I think now this O-line. They got better players than Alabama. They pushed Alabama all over the field. It's like, no. And I think they're going to give Oklahoma real problems, ball control. This game is one of the 4 or 5 seminal games in college football. You played in 4 of them. What is it like?
Oh, there's nothing like it. I mean, it's the game that you circle on your calendar right as you get the schedule. The fans are split right down the middle. It's at a neutral site in Dallas at the Cotton Bowl, which is just an iconic place to play. You walk down the tunnel, the OU fans are all over you. You're hearing things that you don't ever want to repeat, and the grass is just perfect, and it's just the best setting in all of college football. And I was a part of it 5 times. I redshirted, my first year, and then played against them 4 years and had a pretty good amount of success. But if you are ranked or unranked, it doesn't matter. Like, this game is it's going to be fun. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be a rivalry game. You never know which way it's going to go. So, man, I haven't been back to a Texas game in 13 years. And so, I only get to watch it on TV, but if I have the opportunity this weekend, I may try to go. And that place is going to be crazy. I can't wait to see it.
So you were a very mature kid. Your dad was a coach. You came into Texas ready to run the whole show. Quinn Ewers is really interesting. Big whip, big arm. Kid can sling it. NFL arm when he was 18. Didn't come in terribly mature. Didn't love the body. Very casual. Something happened. And in the Alabama game, it's like, whoa, okay, that's a whole different ball game. I don't know the backstory entirely, but being a Texas quarterback is like being a pro quarterback. Matt Leinart at USC felt like a pro quarterback. Seriously, it's like one of the 2 programs in the country. Austin and LA are like music capitals, food capitals, big market media. Talk about being the quarterback at Texas and how it can engulf, because it's engulfed a lot of guys in my lifetime growing up.
Yeah, no doubt. I think you nailed it. I mean, it's the only show in town, right? You're in the state capital. There's fans everywhere. It's a big school. It's been I've been very fortunate to play 4 years there, and I think Quinn has made a big jump. I think last year he was just young, right? He left high school early, skipped his senior year, went to Ohio State. Now he's back down at Texas. He's really only in his 2nd year playing. He's still young. He was the top recruit in the country. Right. And I think you're starting to see all of that. He's got a big arm. He's playing smart football. I don't know that he's turned the ball over all year, through the ups and downs that, he experienced last year through conference play. And they weren't great. He's taking that experience and really worked hard this offseason, and kind of Sark's 3rd year. They've got a lot of momentum.
Yes.
And the guys around him are talented, right? You get 2 NFL receivers, Worthy and Mitchell. You got a tight end that's probably going to be a 1st-round pick in Sanders. The offensive line is playing at a really high level. They run the ball effectively. 3 running backs basically plug and play. And so I think if you're Quinn, you're just saying, look, I've grown, I've matured, I've done these things with my body to get better. I have all the tools. I don't have to mess it up. Let's just go out there and execute the offense do what Sark's asking me to do, and we're going to be just fine.
I'm going to ask you some pro questions because you're one of these guys that has such depth of institutional knowledge of the NFL. So you were under McVay. If I'd never seen, and I love watching the Rams play, it's not just Stafford, it's McVay. When you've 13 years in the NFL, 4-year college starter, high school star, when you went to McVay, your dad was a coach. What did you notice and went, all right, that's secret sauce. That's different than all the other coaches. What's Sean McVay's secret sauce?
Yeah, Sean's incredible, man. We're the same age, so when I got to Washington, we became friends. He had just been the tight ends coach with the Shanahans, and then when Jay Gruden took over, he became the quarterbacks coach, and so he was in the room with me for 4 years as the quarterbacks coach, and then as bumped up as the offensive coordinator. So I think for Sean, like Sean just has a really, really deep understanding of all phases of football, right? He's coached the tight end position. He's coached quarterbacks. He understands defenses. He learned that, with the Grudens down in Tampa Bay, right out of college. Like that's all he thinks about. It's all he cares about. Like he's been, molded from, the time he graduated up until, until he went off and took the head job at the Rams. He was 30 years old. So, he just, and on top of that, like all the knowledge that he has of football, like he is a leader. He's a motivator. He can sit in front of a team and have everybody's attention. He treats everybody with respect. There's no secrets about what's going on with him or his coaching style or the game plan. Like he can relate to everybody. He's closer in age than most all other coaches. So right. He kind of rejuvenated my, wanting and desire to play quarterback, to play in the NFL. It'd been a little rough start. And, I owe a lot of that to Sean. He just really kind of pulled me along, and I learned a lot of football, a lot of X's and O's, a lot of whys that this work, why doesn't this work? Like he's super smart and intelligent. And dude, he's one of the best.
Okay, now the very quirky and powerful and dynamic Jim Harbaugh, I've had friends on his staff. It's just a different animal. Now, I love him, and I think he's more important for college football than pro, so I hope he stays at Michigan forever. Now he owns Ohio State. I think they have the best team in the country along with Texas. You spent time with him, not a ton of time. What was similarly this is different, but this is why this guy wins everywhere. What was his sauce?
Yeah, I'll have to think back. I spent 1 year with Coach Harbaugh and the 49ers, and he was great, right? Like totally different style than Sean. He played quarterback, so he knew the position. He really cared about, footwork and timing. And I remember just drill after drill after drill when I first got there. We got to fix your feet. We got to fix your feet. You can make all the throws, but like it all starts, about what kind of force you're coming, bringing from the ground. Like just over and over, real detailed. But he had a different approach, right? Like when I was in San Francisco, we had our quarterbacks coach, Jeep Chris, called the red zone. Johnny Morton was real involved in all the pass plays. And then Coach Greg Roman did all the run games. So you kind of hearing bits and pieces of the offense from different voices. And then it all came through Harbaugh's headset into the headset of ours on the field as quarterback. So it was a collective approach, and all those coaches were fantastic. I loved playing for all of them. And I think with Harbaugh, he just harps on the details, and we were pretty successful. We ended up losing an NFC Championship game. That was 2013. We were right there, but he was great to play for.
A final question. Well, I got two left. Here's one. And I know this is difficult. I've learned over the course of time, quarterbacks come in all shapes and sizes and personalities. Small quarterbacks used to not get drafted. Now they do. Running quarterbacks didn't get drafted much. Now they do. Aaron Rodgers can be pushed back on authority. Could be a mandate with vaccines. Aaron's going to push back on authority. That's his personality. Brady was much more willing to be guided by authority. That's his personality. Russell Wilson is polished and refined, and Jay Cutler wasn't. Kyler Murray's different. Greatest high school quarterback, some say, ever out of Texas. He came out of high school as a rock star. He was a rock star, a Heisman guy at Oklahoma. He plays too much video games. He's aloof. He's blah, 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 blah. You were around him. I don't love everything about him. I've got good sources on it. should I be concerned at all that I can trust him for 4 years, practice, game, commitment? Is he? Or is he just talented? Can you give me an answer on that?
Yeah, Kyler is extremely talented, right? You nailed it. Never lost a game in high school, Heisman Trophy winner, first pick in football, could have gone and played baseball as a first-round draft pick. Make no mistake, he's one of the most talented people I've ever been, probably the most. I think what people don't understand about him, for whatever reason, is he is a hard worker. He does care about the game. He's super competitive, whether it's, we're throwing balls in a trash can at practice or it's in the game, right? I think right now he's just kind of being a punching bag. Everybody's kind of talking, can he do this? Can he do that? New coaching staff coming off ACL. He's a playmaker. He runs. I mean, I would not hedge my bets against him. I think he's going to come back. He's going to be just fine. And I know he wants to play, and, but that's for him. He's going to know when he's healthy.
Right. Right.
I enjoyed my time with him. I felt like we had a great quarterback room. Lots of good conversations always, and you never really let the outside noise kind of come into our room and what we were doing. Yeah,
I think he throws one of the prettiest footballs in the league. It just comes out of his hand. It's Aaron Rodgers. It is a beautiful football. Some of that's probably his baseball background, finally. So, okay, now this is a tough question. I know teams are calling you. Can you at least, if I said to you, Colt, your agent's going to be ticked off. Who's the last team that called you? Come on.
Oh, man. I don't know if I can disclose that. I've talked to a lot of teams, and I'm humbled by that, to be completely honest. I think for me as a competitor, I've played a long time. My body feels good. I also know I came off elbow surgery, that's feeling a lot better. But, I went through training camp as took all the starting reps, and, it kind of got pulled out from under me as the season started. And so I've just taken some time to kind of figure out what I want to do next. And, I think, the weekends are hard because you want to be out there playing, but at the same time, I've got a wife and 4 kids. I'm enjoying my time with them and just kind of being picky and waiting on the right opportunity.
Okay. I'm going to go 36-23 Texas over Oklahoma. I think they ball control it in the second half. They found their running back a couple of weekends ago. 36-23 Texas. What say you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think Oklahoma's a little, blistered by last year, right? We beat them 49-0, and I don't think that they liked hearing about that all year. But at the same time, I think Texas is better.
Yes,
Texas is a lot better than what they were last year. I think they're more experienced, and I also think they play good in big games. So, for me, I'm biased, but I think Texas is going to run away with it pretty early.
Ooh, I like that. That's smoke. Hear that, J-Mac? This guy's not shy. He's not sitting on the fence, not waffling.
The one thing I will say is when I was in college, Venables was the defensive coordinator at Oklahoma. Yeah. And he was always the hardest guy to play against. He always had a random corner blitz or a zone pressure that I hadn't seen before, and you have to come back to the sidelines. And he runs an outstanding defense. So I know they'll have some stuff up their sleeve for Sark and for Quinn. But again, I just think Texas is too talented. I think they're playing at a high level, and I think that they're just better right now.
Yeah, I think they're going to control. I think their O-line is just a handful, just going to lean on them. And after about 3 hours in that sun and that leaning, I think they're going to kind of pull away. Colt McCoy, absolute pleasure. Great seeing you again. Best to you and your family and your 4 kids. They're at a great age, and congrats on your success.
Hey, thanks for having me on the show, man. That was fun.
All right, Colt McCoy. And he wouldn't tell us who wanted him. He's getting called. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.